Please welcome Charlotte Cho, Chief Curator and Co-Founder, SokoGlam.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Charlotte Cho. I'm the co-founder of SokoGlam. I wanted to thank WWD for inviting me here today. I've been to my fair share of WWD conferences, and it's really an honor and a treat to be up here today. So today I'm going to be speaking about how SokoGlam leverages digital to fuel education and entertainment. And a quick history lesson about K-beauty. As you have seen K-beauty rise in the US, K-beauty has actually been around for over a decade. Misha opened their first US flagship in 2005. They were trying to replicate the brick and mortar experience that they experienced in Korea. And Face Shop soon followed after with a brick and mortar shop in New York in 2005 as well. And there were many Korean grocery stores that actually had their own selection of Korean beauty products. And it was a hodgepodge of products. Sometimes the labeling wasn't right, but it was still a Korean beauty shop. And I actually remember going into these shops with my mom when I was a teen and complaining that she was taking too long, but 10 years later, who knew that I'd open up my own Korean beauty shop? Now we know that Korean beauty is actually very mainstream and very prevalent in the US today. I know this because SokoGlam actually distributes many Korean brands to various retailers, such as Urban Outfitters and Birchbox. We actually have a selection of products in over 3,000 CVSs in the US. And we're an all-door Sephora with several brands that we specially curated, and it's available on their K-beauty wall. And in 2017, we had our first pop-up experience. It's called the SokoGlam Mini Shop, which is still there today if you check it out, this Bloomingdale, Soho. And it's an amazing experience where we decided to go into that store because we wanted our customers to have that first-hand experience with SokoGlam. I believe that Korean beauty is actually creating a lot of excitement and newness in beauty, and I'm sure you feel it too. It started all with the BB cream in 2008, and then we've seen a proliferation of sheet masks that are everywhere. Almost every brand seems to be wanting to jump on the sheet masks. And also we have cushion compacts. The brand Amore Pacific actually created this innovation, and so many large Western brands are also using cushion compacts as part of their lineup. And we also have categories like essences and oil cleansers that have existed but have gained renewed energy, and more consumers are interested in diving into these categories as they learn more about them. And I also believe Korean beauty is truly fueling the growth of skincare. NPD just released a report about the rise in prestige skincare. It has grown 9%, surpassing makeup growth in 2017. I think that's a very unique statistic. A lot of analysts and experts actually talk about how skincare is growing largely due to the presentation of the products, and it's very social. Also, the growth of the health and wellness category. In particular, if you actually look at the skincare segment, the smaller categories are actually growing, such as masks. Masks is a category that grew 32% in 2017. So how did K-beauty become so ubiquitous, especially in the US, and so quickly? It was a matter of 3 to 4 years that this has just completely blown up and become very explosive. I actually want to take a step back and talk about my experience and my personal journey exploring and discovering K-beauty. So I was actually born and raised in California. I did not have a very extensive skincare routine. I knew nothing about it. It just wasn't part of my vocabulary. I actually cared more about designer jeans and juicy lip glosses than what I put on my skin. And when I traveled to California to Korea to work at Samsung, I fell in love with the beauty industry. I saw beauty shops everywhere I turned. My Korean colleagues and friends took me under their wing and actually shared with me the wonders of Korean beauty, and they actually made fun of me because I didn't know what an essence was. And I really saw that Korean skincare really transformed my skin. And it completely made sense, and there's science behind it, and I just fell in love with taking care of my skin. The sheet mask didn't cost more than a subway ride, and skincare didn't feel like a chore anymore. It actually felt very relaxing, and it just became part of my lifestyle. So I knew I had to share this with my friends in the US. But in the US at that time, there honestly wasn't much talk about it. It was not mainstream. I remember cold calling an editor and asking them if they knew what K-beauty was. And this is the kind of K-beauty I was talking about. And she had said, K-beauty? Do you mean Kardashian beauty? And obviously, it's kind of opposite of Kardashian beauty. So when Dave and I first started SokoGlam in 2012, we didn't start it because it was a proven business model. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, no one knew what it was. It was uncharted territory, and K-beauty knowledge was not mainstream. So there were also a lot of naysayers. Our friends and people around us would say, I don't think this idea is going to work. You're going to sell products that no one has ever heard of. They've never even heard of these brands. And you don't have a physical location where they could touch and feel the products. But we moved forward with the idea because honestly, this was a passion project. This wasn't some grand scheme to be rich quick. It was my way of staying connected with Korea because I knew I'd be leaving Korea after living there for 5 years. And I really wanted to share my skincare journey. It was my way of sharing my favorite products, my tried and true products with the rest of the world. So when we moved to New York, I had a big question mark. How would I actually spread awareness of K-beauty since no one knew about it? And we didn't have an extravagant PR strategy. We didn't have an expensive PR firm. And we didn't have any context in the space because we were all new to beauty. But I was armed with my Samsung PR background, and I started to cold call editors and share my approach to skincare and how the Korean beauty routine completely revolutionized the way I thought about skin. And I shared my favorite products that helped me along the way. We went to where our audience was, where they were learning about beauty. And these are some of the key articles that were actually instrumental in helping us make K-beauty take off. And this article, the L article here, is the first time I actually coined the term 10-step Korean skincare routine, which I think many of you have heard of. And it's funny because as I was getting interviewed for this article, it wasn't about telling people to use 10 products every morning and every night. In fact, I only used 5, 6 products today. But it was really about an educational process, about the routine. What are the products that Korean women use in order to achieve their skin goals? You don't have to use it all in a row, but these are the options. And honestly, it was great. People got to understand about where oil cleansers fit into the routine, sheet masks, essences, ampoules, and it really did help intrigue others to learn about the skincare routine. And that was a huge win for us. So this is actually a snapshot of our humble site when we started in 2012. Dave, my co-founder, and my husband, we actually didn't come from a digital background. We didn't come from marketing. Actually, my husband spent 8 years active duty in the military service. And we obviously did not have any graphic design skills. But this was our accessible avenue to tell our story about Korean beauty. And I believe that I had a specific, unique lens because I was an American woman who also understood Korean culture. And over 5 years, we've definitely evolved. And looking back, I really, truly believe Korean beauty needed digital. Digital was a perfect platform for K-beauty. And these are the core reasons why. Number one, Korea is obviously a hotbed of innovation. There's a constant pipeline of R&D coming from Korea. And what's great about it is that with digital, all of these innovations could be discussed in real time, which made the discovery and curation process extremely fun. And here is a slide of just a visual aspect of Korean beauty. I think they've all helped us become more creative and playful in packaging. And it can really inspire and excite consumers. And with social, it obviously became magnified, and it was a perfect marriage. And products from Korea are very interactive. They're made for testing and experimentation, and it really can inspire and excite consumers, and it causes them to report back to their community. The middle GIF just shows you that this is a mask from Neogen. You can actually crack the capsule at the top of the mask, which contains a fresh dose of hyaluronic acid. And once you crack it into the mask, you get fresh hyaluronic acid, so that it's great for your skin and you feel like you're getting the freshest ingredient possible. Lastly, Korean beauty is a lifestyle. It became a lifestyle for me, and it's becoming a lifestyle for many others. It's really about a way of life more than a brand or a product. And it's awesome because we get to have that genuine conversation with them that involved educating them about a skin-first philosophy. And it really resonated with the digital audience, which were honestly hungry for skincare content. So how does SokoGlam leverage all of these amazing qualities of K-beauty and amazing qualities of digital and make ourselves a truly digital brand? Honestly, it doesn't really mean anything much to say you're a digital brand now because everyone is in some way or fashion. But here's how SokoGlam interprets itself, and this is what we mean when we say we are a digital brand. I think first you need to take a look at our mission statement to help all people believe there are only good skin days ahead. By staying focused on this mission, we are able to have meaningful conversations and allow us to talk with her and not at her. And we want to go along with her on her journey. And we want all people to believe there are only good skin days ahead because we're actually not focused on Asian American skin. Skin is skin. In fact, most of our customers are non-Asian. 75% is non-Asian. And we also don't think skincare is a destination. It's not about getting flawless skin. I mean, everyone has their good skin days and their bad skin days. But the point is, we want them to enjoy the journey and have a discovery and educational process so that the best is yet to come. By really staying focused on this mission statement, we have been really able to create a meaningful community. And the way we do it is we lead with education. We stay true to our mission statement and do everything that we can to educate our community, and we do not chase revenue. I've written the first book on Korean beauty called Little Book of Skincare, which focused on the routine and tips, and it really helped cement us in our focus for education. We partner with like-minded brands such as Ipsy. In 2017, we collaborated with them, a huge project. We seeded 3 million Korean beauty products in their Glam bags, and in it was an insert about how Korean beauty was so special and how you can actually have better makeup if you take care of your skin. And that was a personal note from me. And at Gen Beauty, we partner with them so that I'm able to give them tutorials and advice with skincare at their workshops. And lastly, I really like to share my journey of learning together. I never positioned myself as a Korean beauty expert. I never positioned myself as a skin expert that knew what I was doing at age 3. I actually told them I had no idea what I was doing at age 22 until I moved to Korea, and this is my journey, and you should come along with me. So when I got my esthetician license, it was after I started SokoGlam, and I invited everyone to be on my journey. And we really utilize this education-first approach in all of our platforms, from social, content, influencer relationships, and also events. And it truly makes all the difference. It has made the difference in establishing real, lasting connections with the community, and we really focus on education rather than driving sales. And honestly, that means breaking from traditionally accepted e-commerce best practices. Let me give you a quick, detailed example. If you look at our Instagram account, you'll see that our Instagram captions are pretty dang long. They are very descriptive. They explain why the products are amazing, what ingredients are truly effective, why we love the product, and it goes against the mainstream wisdom that you have to use a short, witty caption with lots of emojis. And this may not seem intuitive, but we know our customers and our community want this information. And in fact, Eva Chen recently cited this post as a best practice in a presentation to CW recently as a way of adding value with context. Another way we really focus on education is the way we engage with our influencers. And we approach it in the same exact fashion. We want to engage with those influencers who really want to see a difference in their skin and really want to go on this journey with us. And it doesn't happen overnight. These relationships take time. But when they see a difference in their skin after coming along on this journey, they will share their experience organically and authentically with their followers. And that is a lot more meaningful to the community. And we're not looking for viral, one-hit tags or posts that are paid because honestly, the community can see right through that. Another way we lead with education is through our content. We really kept this focus on education when it comes to content. Most commerce sites focus on being sticky and streamlining their path to purchase, and they do not want any distractions along the way in the e-commerce experience. But instead, we actually drive a lot of our SokoGlam audience members to another site, which is called the Klog.co. And interestingly, we actually had something called the KBD log originally within SokoGlam, just as a regular e-commerce blog. But we made the strategic decision in 2016 to pull it out to its own URL because it needed its own platform. And we had so much more to talk about outside of the PDP. There was so much more to talk about so that these people can be part of our journey in a more meaningful way. And as you can see, because of our mission, our focus on our mission, we're not about chasing revenue, we're about chasing our mission. And just to point out, our readers absolutely love our content, and they respond incredibly well. The people that come from SokoGlam and they go into the Klog, they spend about more than 5 minutes on the site, and they visit 5 more pages on average. And in just a year, since we pulled it out of SokoGlam, we have increased in traffic 250%. And also, it really fuels our ecosystem because we do offer one-on-one skin consultations through SokoGlam with our skin experts. And a lot of times, our questions that they get can be supplemented with the content we produce on the Klog. And we continue to invest in the Klog. If you stay tuned to the Klog.co later this month, we're going to actually be unveiling a newly upgraded Klog because we want to continue to invest in it. And if you ask us, you have a lot of wholesale business. It's not a huge part of our business, but we do have several large accounts. And how do we continue to stay mission focused through wholesale? Well, if you go to our Bloomingdale Soho mini shop, you'll know that there are three iPads distributed through the store, and it's not a huge store, it's a small footprint, but we have YouTube-like tutorials that are dispersed throughout the shop that explain how to use the products. At CVS, the towers that contain our sheet masks, they contain a huge section that explains how to use a sheet mask because, surprisingly, a lot of people don't know how to use sheet masks. And we branded it with the Klog because we wanted people to go to the Klog and learn more if they were excited about what they learned. And on Sephora, we collaborate with them to create content and videos to help explain why we like the product and how to use it. And we also do this in our events. I actually invite all of you to attend this. This is happening this weekend in Soho. It's a Best of Korea pop-up in celebration of the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. And the reason why we decided to do this 2-day pop-up focused on not just beauty, but the best of Korea, from K-pop to K-food and K-drinks. We really wanted to create an immersive experience that really focused on what makes Korea so special. So many people that fall in love with Korean beauty, they want to know where these products are coming from, and I know we've inspired a lot of people to travel to Korea. And this is a place not to sell product at all. We're not doing any selling here, but it's an education event. It's so people can learn about the history of Korea, the current status of Korea, and also K-beauty, and enjoy some food and watch the games. So to sum it all up, the wonderful team, the awesome team at SokoGlam, we do a lot of unorthodox things because we're all laser focused on that mission. On Instagram, we always lead with education because we don't care about the clicks, we care about their skincare journey. And with the Klog, this has been an amazing skincare guide for our community, and it's just another digital tool that gives us more meaning and a context to the journey. And really, it's to take time to build relationships with your community. The ones that take time are the ones that are awesome. We're not looking for viral one-hit wonders because that will be viral and that will be a quick that will be just something that will quickly leave as it arrived. And ultimately, I hope that you've seen that we're using the digital platform to make a connection and not a transaction. And this is how SokoGlam has become the most trusted Korean beauty site. Thank you. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take them. I think we have a few minutes. The mic monitors will, I see someone right there.
Hi, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because you have such good education digital, does that put the mass market like a CVS on an even playing field with the Bloomingdale's because the customer is being educated not so much in the store where there's not always service at the mass market?
Okay, so can you repeat that again?
I just wonder, is the mass market picking up as fast with K-Beauty as department stores where you have maybe some service, and maybe is your education on your digital platforms helping make them more even?
Yes, I completely agree because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, if you go into any store and you want to test out a product that you've never heard of, I Google it, or I check it out on digital. So whether you're at CVS and you see these masks and you never heard of the brand and you're Googling it and you're seeing how to use them, I think digital and the content that we produce, it has been amazing to fuel the entire market of skincare because people are hungry for skincare content.
How's K-Beauty going to, sorry, nice to meet you. How is K-Beauty trying to reach out to women of color in the marketing industry? So far it's been targeted towards women of paler complexions, and we don't really see a lot of women of color on social media sites and marketing campaigns. There's very few companies that even have cushion foundations dark enough for women of color. So how's K-Beauty trying to reach out to women of all skin tones, and including the male market as well?
Right, that's a great question. So obviously in Korea, there's not that many skin tones available for that market, so all the Korean beauty brands that are focused on Korea, which they usually are, have only like 1 or 2 skin tones that they offer. But as K-beauty has been growing as a segment, we've seen a lot of brands that are focused on the US market come out with more ranges. For example, Innisfree came out with 14 different tones, and we actually covered that on the Klog because we were so excited about that. If you go to their Union Square store, they have 14 different shades, which is a huge improvement from 2. And we see that a lot of Korean brands are looking more seriously at other markets because it's becoming a global, it's a global phenomenon. And so they are, I know that as I personally talk to these brands, they are making movements in that direction. And in terms of male market, they've already have actually a very active and engaged male consumer in Korea. So a lot of the products are packaged so they're pretty much gender neutral. And so I think that's a win for the K-beauty industry, especially for the male market. See, question back there?
Hi there, amazing presentation, thank you. I get your emails late at night. I don't know if it's a Korea, New York thing, but I can't stop watching them, so thank you for that. But one question I have is, with all of this great content you're producing, your content, your social, your website, everything, tell us a little bit about your team structure and how you're producing such great content.
We do everything in-house, and I think that is a matter of our resources. We're still a startup. I know a lot of brands may rent out really expensive studios. They may rent out huge production houses. With us, we always start it in-house and we keep it in-house. Our SokoGlam team knows our DNA and our mission, and so it really works well. I mean, we film our YouTube videos in like a supply closet, which totally works. And it's great. People aren't looking for super polished content anymore. They just want real advice from real people. If you go on the Klog, you'll see a lot of our team members on the front page modeling the products. And I don't know about you guys. I mean, I guess I'm still a millennial, but they know how to pose. they're not trained to be models, but they're really good at what they do, and it's really great because it just is more authentic as well. Any other questions? Hi. Back there.
Hi, thank you for such a great presentation. I'm a longtime lurker, reader, and buyer. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to how you, when somebody orders from SokoGlam, how you take the educational, content-focused experience to the fulfillment and unboxing, and how you come full circle with that on the consumer end.
Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously the touch points we have are all digital. We are very focused on digital aspect. And once someone comes onto the site, they get to learn about the products. You know, we sometimes drive them away to the Klog to learn more. And then hopefully they come back to purchase. Once they receive the product, they actually get a little card and a sample with every purchase that explains. We don't just toss a sample in and expect people to just try it and see it. We want to explain why we curated it. Our curation process is very trusted. A lot of times we launch products and they sell out with absolutely no media coverage. And so our community knows that what we bring onto the site is vetted. I touch every single product that comes onto the site, and it really makes a trusted experience. And so we explain that clearly why we curated it. And people can actually go onto our YouTube channel, and I personally explain why we've curated certain SKUs to our curation. And also I even talk about former products that we've curated in the past that people had questions about. And I also compare them to the products we already curated. So for example, if we carry an essence and we curate a new essence and it's the next big thing, I explain why you would want to choose one or the other. So it just really helped them shop and really understand if this product is customized for them. I have a question. I don't know if we have time for more, but.
Hi. So now that K-Beauty has been around for more than a decade, where do you see it evolving in the future? Is it more format innovation, or where do you see the trends going for K-Beauty?
So I think it's all about textures and consistencies. I know that people are looking for some like thing that's going to jump out of the mask box and like really instantly make you younger. I think it's really getting more refined about the textures and consistencies. There's this Claire's mask. You can see it on the WWD Instagram account that I spoke about briefly. It's this shape memory cream that really is jiggly and pudding-like in texture, but it really helps cling onto your skin and completely melt and absorb into your skin. I think that is really unique and interesting about Korean beauty. Also, I think that there's going to be a lot more innovation with color, and especially since US is a big market for them, and obviously people in the US love makeup. And I really think that with K-Beauty, K-Beauty has not become this trend. It's not a trend anymore. It has really become synonymous to innovation. So just as we see Denmark and we're like, they make awesome furniture, when you think of Korea, you're gonna think they make amazing cosmetics. And I think that it has inspired a lot of Western brands to come and get inspired. And I know a lot of people go to Korea to check out the scene, how they market, how they package, and it's really kind of revolutionized the beauty world.
That's all the time we have for questions.
Okay.